Welcome to our online English class. In today's class, we are going to learn an interesting story, and the title of the story is A True Friend.
Students, take page number 82 and read the first paragraph along with me. Nandini and Pandi were good friends since childhood. They lived in the same street, so they were always together. Every day, Pandi would stop at her home on the way to school. Both would walk to school chatting and playing. Sometimes they would race home from school. They always took part in school activities together. They helped each other in their lessons. Chatting, meaning talk in a friendly manner.
The two friends are Nandini and Pandi. They are two good friends. They both lived in the same street. So every day morning, this Pandi used to come to Nandini's house, and from there they both used to go to their school together. While going to their school, they'll talk together, they'll play together, and they are good friends. Now let's see what happened in their life in our next paragraph.
One day, as usual, Pandi came to Nandini's home. She looked upset and sad. Pandi asked her, "Why are you sad?" She did not answer. Instead, she shook her head. "Did your parents scold you?" asked Pandi. She did not answer him. He grabbed her bag and said excitedly, "Catch me if you can." But she did not respond. Pandi stopped and gave the bag back. They walked silently to the school. Grabbed, meaning snatch suddenly and roughly.
One day, as usual, Pandi came to Nandini's house to go along with her to school. But that day, Nandini was so upset. She didn't talk to Pandi at all. So Pandi was asking so many questions. Are you angry? Did your parents scold you? But there's no answer from Nandini. So he tried to make her laugh. He just pulled her back and he ran in front, and he asked her to come and catch him. But this girl Nandini, she didn't play with him. She was very upset. Now let's see what is the reason.
Now let's read the third paragraph. Nandini walked into the classroom slowly, her eyes glued to the ground. She looked sad. "Did someone scold you?" asked one of her friends in the class. Nandini shook her head. She sat down with her head bowed down. The teacher entered the classroom and started calling out the names for attendance. Nandini did not answer when the teacher called her name. Glued, meaning sticked.
On the way, Nandini didn't speak a word to this Pandi. Now Nandini entered a classroom. Everyone, they tried to speak to Nandini, but Nandini didn't speak a word to anyone else. She quietly came and she sat down. She didn't talk to anyone. Everybody inquired her, "Why are you sad? Why you are not talking to me?" But the girl, she didn't open her mouth. Then the class teacher entered the class. And what will a class teacher, as soon as she enters, she'll take attendance, isn't it? Similarly, this class teacher also, she started to take attendance. But Nandini, she didn't answer the teacher too. Now let's read the next paragraph.
The teacher was annoyed. This time she called her name louder, "Nandini," and then she raised her hand but did not answer. The teacher went near Nandini. She touched her forehead and asked, "Are you feeling okay?" Nandini shook her head. Her cheeks were red and it looked like she had a fever. "Do you have a fever? Shall I call your parents?" asked the teacher. She shook her head, but she still did not look at anyone. Her head was still bowed down. Annoyed, meaning irritated or slightly angry. As Nandini didn't reply to her teacher's call, her teacher got angry and she called Nandini's name the second time little louder. This time, Nandini raised her hand. So the teacher came near Nandini to check what was the reason for her silence. She came near Nandini and touched her forehead to check whether she has fever. Nandini's cheeks were in red color. So the teacher asked her, "If you have fever, I can call your parents." Nandini again nodded her head, but she didn't reply. And her eyes were fixed to the floor and she didn't look into anyone's face. Now let's read the second paragraph in page number 83. "Why does Nandini look so sad?" exclaimed her friends. Her friends pestered her with 100 questions. The questions were about everything that you think about. They asked her family, her house, her shoes, and even about her street pets. Each question that she was asked, Nandini only answered by shaking her head. P-E-S-T-E-R-E-D, pestered, meaning to trouble someone.
Her other friends in the class started asking Nandini, "Why are you sad?" They asked her so many questions. Is there something happened in your family? Is your pets at home okay? They got answer only by nodding Nandini's head. So they were all worried something is wrong with Nandini, but she is not willing to share her sadness with others. Now let's continue and we want to find out what was her real sadness. What happened to Nandini? Shall we see?
Pandi had enough of Nandini's silence. He had never seen her so dull. He wanted an idea to make her smile. He thought and thought for many hours. Finally, he had an idea. He took out something from his bag and ran to show it to her. He tumbled and it slipped from his hands. It was flying straight to Nandini. She saw something flying towards her and screamed with fear. She closed her eyes and tried to catch it. Thud! She caught it. It was a big green frog. Everyone ran away as they were scared of the frog. Now let's learn the new words in this paragraph. Tumbled, to fall quickly without control. Slipped, to move out of the correct position. Screamed, make a loud high-pitched sound. Scared, afraid.
Pandi was very upset. He has never seen his friend so sad. He decided to make her laugh. He thought and thought and thought. Finally, he got an idea. He took something in his hands and he ran towards Nandini. As he was running, he fell down, falling down. The thing what he had in his hand, it flew towards Nandini. Nandini was scared. She caught the thing, but she screamed, closing her eyes. And when she opened her hands, she saw a frog. Seeing the frog, all her friends who stood around her, they ran away from that place. But
now let's read the final paragraph. Nandini's eyes were wide open with surprise. Then she burst into laughter. It was a rubber frog. As soon as she laughed, her friends and teacher knew why she did not smile or talk to anyone all day. Two of her front teeth were missing.
But Nandini, she started laughing. She started laughing and laughing because that was not a real frog. That was a rubber frog. And as she was laughing, the teacher and her friends found out that this girl didn't smile till that because two of her front teeth were missing. It has fallen. That's why she was very nervous and she felt very shy to smile at her friends. From this story, we could understand one thing. If you have a good friend, they'll really take care of you. They will never let you feel sad. They will never let you stay alone. Here, this Pandi is a very good friend of Nandini. So, He tried his all effort. He tried different efforts to make us smile, and finally his effort came out well and he made his friend smile. Now it's time to wind up today's class. I'll meet you all in my next class. Until then, it's bye from Deepa ma'am. Thank you.